Beep boop.
Boop, boop, beep, boop.
Hey, you're a minimalist.
I am minimalist.
Do you do things differently with money as a minimalist?
I do things differently as a minimalist.
Yeah. Good.
I'm answering very minimally.
Thanks for joining us. So I had this question about, minimalism and money and how minimalists handle money, because if I took a really hard look at what I was doing financially, like I have too many accounts, I have too many different financial institutions that I'm with. I've got, things spread out over various things.
Yeah.
And I feel like a minimalist would be like, no, I have 2 buckets and this is how I use them.
Yeah. Definitely.
Is that true?
Yeah, for me it is. There is an aspect. It kind of drives my minimalist brain crazy because I do have personal and I do have business, but within those accounts I have 1 checking, 1 saving, and 1 checking and 1 saving. I don't have multiple savings accounts.
Yeah.
And then even when it comes to, for example, I've had with investment accounts, I've had 7 different jobs in the last 3.5 years. And so I've had a lot of 401ks that I needed to roll over.
Yeah.
Now most people will just roll it over and then it'll be a separate IRA, or they'll leave it in those 401ks. But the first thing I did was make sure I consolidated all of them.
In one.
Yeah. So instead of having 6 different accounts or 7 different accounts, I only had 1.
Interesting.
For me, there's a like minimalist, like physically being able to see things like on 1 page.
Yes.
And then also see things very clearly. Even the minimalist aspect of like renaming my account so that the numbers it's not ending in X4323 or whatever, but it's like sapphire. So like I can see things very clearly and know exactly what it means. And I try to simplify things as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sapphire is your girlfriend's name? Or
yeah, she's the one I met in Vegas. No, but Sapphire is the Chase Sapphire card.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was slow on the uptake there. So I heard an interesting concept by a friend of mine who's very minimalistic.
Uh-huh.
And he said, he was at a point where he did not buy stuff unless something else left. So he got to a point where it was like, no, I have a certain amount of space. It's 1 in, 1 out. And he was pretty adamant about that policy.
That's awesome.
Have you heard of this?
I have. Yeah. So, and I've even heard it where it's like, if you buy 1 thing, you got to get rid of 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I think it just depends on the person. But like, for example, one of the things I love is mugs.
Yeah.
And I got 2 new mugs, particularly at the Build a Bigger Life retreat in Sedona, Arizona, which was awesome. And 1 from Sundara. And so that's 2 new mugs. I'm like, I gotta get rid of like 4 mugs. I gotta get rid of some. But yeah, going back to your friend and what he was saying, how does that show up? Like,
well, so as an example too, he would say when it comes time to buy a new piece of furniture, as an example, he would look around and go, well, that one's kind of getting older, or I want to replace it, so I'm going to sell that first. When I sell that, then I can go get
interesting.
something else. So it wasn't just clothing items, it was, literally everything around him. Now, I don't know how he handled books, because that's for me would be hard for me to do.
Yeah. If you had to get rid of books?
It would.
Maybe you need to go digital.
See, and I can't, it doesn't feel the same to me.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like the feel of paper books in my hand.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. The other thing that I would say in terms of how it showed up for me around being a minimalist in finance is around investments again. There's thousands and thousands of different things you could invest in, right?
Yeah.
From individual stocks to different funds, etc. One of the things that I personally use is target date funds, meaning you invest in one portfolio and it automatically rebalances over time based on how old you are and how comfortable you are with risk. But within that one fund, there's like anywhere between, I don't know, I'm kind of making this up, but like 6 to 20 different individual investments within that one fund.
Yeah.
So instead of actually managing 20 different, positions,
right,
I'm only looking at one.
Yeah. And the target date makes it easy to make that decision, because you're saying this fund is engineered and invested so that someone who's retiring in 25 years, this is what their portfolio looks like.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so it also takes the simplicity, it's a very simple approach to investing versus, charting and economic happenings in the world and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes things very, very simple.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the minimalist approach to finance too, I think also contextually, I'm very clear on, why money is important to me, going back to the behavior.
Yep.
And then also the minimalist aspect. So, I'm not necessarily spending money on lavish material items, but I'm spending money on, experiences, and also just limiting the number of expenses because I'm focused on the things that are going to bring me true, real value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That spark joy.
That spark joy.
Yes. So, I think we did a couple episodes on this way, way, way back when, but it was about the FIRE movement, financially independent, retire early. And I have to imagine that you could literally lay over minimalist financial principles on the FIRE movement philosophy or the people who are practicing that, and they would be very similar.
Oh, yeah.
Because people who are saying, I make X, I keep everything very simple in terms of the number of accounts, and I know exactly where things go, but they're not overspending on, on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, they're more interested in experience.
Yep.
So as a result, they become fairly minimalistic. Financially.
Yep.
Would you agree?
Yes, and then even to particularly with the FIRE movement, I know a majority of people, I would say, either live in tiny homes or like vans, right, or like RV kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so if you think literally about the physical aspect of a tiny home, it might be 300 square feet. So the amount of things that you could actually fit in there is limited.
Right.
Yeah, so you wouldn't need as many things.
Right.
Yeah, and things need to be. I'm always obsessed with like stores like IKEA, and like just the Swiss in general, because like they are like very forward thinking, and one table can also be a chair and storage and a dresser. It's just like, I love things that have multi-purpose.
Dude, you are so living in a shipping container
someday. Yeah. Dreams of even creating like a coffee shop in a shipping container. I thought it'd be really, really cool.
That turns into your house at night.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like a 2-story one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that too. Yeah, I have one of my goals is to essentially own a coffee shop in Paris.
Oh yeah,
or in the south of France.
Yes.
And essentially have it be a 2-story building. I live on the first floor. Second floor is a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So literally, I wake up to the morning, smell a coffee, or people chatting downstairs. I go down and I say bonjour, and then I take my corgis out for a walk.
Is it GB coffee?
GB coffee.
Yeah, what?
GB coffee. GB coffee.
Yes, I love it. Total inside joke. Some of you will get it. So this is interesting on so many levels. But I think the minimalism of finance, which is ultimately what we were talking about first, for people who don't have it, give me like 3 steps. Because somebody who's like, it's just complicated. My money's so complicated. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
Give me like 3 or 4 things.
To simplify your finances, the first thing that I would say, the number one thing is you kind of portrayed the emotion of it very, very well, which people are overwhelmed because they actually don't know how much they have, right? Or how many accounts they have. So the first thing I would say is you can use apps like Personal Capital, which will aggregate all of your financial data, assets, liabilities, investments, debt, on one page so you can actually see it.
Yep.
That for many people is
link down below.
Link down below, and that single-handedly is probably one of the most eye-opening things for people.
Yeah.
Either they realize they have a lot more money that they didn't think they had, or they owe a lot more money that they didn't think they had.
Right.
But it provides clarity into like, okay, I know what's actually so.
Yes.
I know the facts. So that's the first thing. Second thing I would do is really ask them what is the intent behind certain accounts.
Okay.
So you might have someone say like, I've had multiple people say, okay, so you have 3 saving accounts. This one has like $46, the other one has 2,000, and this one has like 600. Tell me what are these for?
Right.
And they'll say something like, oh, my parents opened this for me, or this was something I did because because there was one time I wanted to save for something and then that happened and I just never closed it.
Yeah.
So actually getting clear line by line can provide clarity around simplifying those things.
Yes.
Third thing that I would say is, actually the first 2 are like a pretty large majority.
Yeah.
In terms of simplifying, one thing that I would say is have a conversation with someone who is not yourself. Because oftentimes, we tend to overcomplicate, like even I tend to overcomplicate things in my mind.
Yeah.
But if I can get an unbiased third-party perspective, they'll be able to really tell me, hey, is this necessary or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Or do I need this or not?
Yeah.
And they'll be able to kind of be a sounding board for
to challenge your perspective, essentially.
Yeah.
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 Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I will say this. having met you and been around you, the simple way in which you deal with all of that has been very eye-opening for me.
How so?
Yeah. Just, like I said, I have too many accounts. There's too many things going on. I need to consolidate and keep consolidating until it is all on one page and I go, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Because I will say this, my wife is a person who needs to have the visibility in order to feel the security. Otherwise, the lack of clarity creates this anxiousness about money.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And so for her, having the visibility on one page and to be able to print it out and say, look, we're fine.
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. Now I don't have to worry.
Yeah.
And right now I can't do that. It's like, here's 10 pages. She's like, I don't even know what to look at.
Yeah. Which one's page one?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I will be committing to this, and here's the challenge I want to offer to all of you. Simplify, simplify, simplify your finances. I want, if you have massive multiple accounts, consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. If you have multiple savings accounts, I get why you're doing it, but it's also somewhat inefficient for your finances. So I want you to consolidate some of those. If you have multiple cards, question, why do you have all these cards? Maybe you could simplify that. What I find is the more cards there are, the more opportunities there are to miss due dates and payments. And so that creates late fees and things you don't need to pay for, right? Paying the stupid tax.
Yeah.
So simplify as much as possible. That is the challenge for today. And if you like this kind of stuff, comment down below. Follow us on Instagram. Comment on the YouTube video. And send us an email, questions@masteryofmoney.com. We are here for you to answer any questions you may have.
For you.
Last statement for the month of April.
Well,
or May.
Yeah.
What month is it?
The time just moved. It's financial obstruction. For me, it's we're gearing into summer. I think a lot of times people can, kind of have the mentality, whether you're in school or not, to it's summertime, it's relaxing. Right?
Yeah.
But if you look at champions, people who have won gold medals, Olympic athletes, people who are really great at what they do, summertime is the time they put in work. So I think the final remark for the end of the month, the close of the month, as we're in the middle of summer, is to really, double down on how you can pursue mastery of money. That's what I would say.
Love it.
What about you?
I'm going to echo that. When you go to the pool, take a money book with you.
Beautiful.
Like, read that stuff. What could be better than learning about money and soak it in the sun?
That's a new book title.
Learn about money, soak it in the sun?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Soaking in the sun, making it rain with money. No.
We'll figure that out.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Cool.
Ponder that. We'll see you next time.